It all begins with an almost existential fear of not being in harmony with our purest part, more divine, more sacred, more natural. And from there we create the myth of the ego, the myth of the being independent, absolute, eternal, and that creates outside of us the myth of the world, the myth of the universe. And from there, starting from the reference of the ego, we say, it suits me or it doesn't suit me. And there begins a great, great battle to conquer people, conquer objects, fight against what we do not want. When our mind is restless, something must be worrying it. So, when we see a tree and its leaves shake, it is the wind that moves them. And if the wind blows less, the leaf barely moves. And if there is no wind, the leaf is completely calm. So the question is, what agitates, what disturbs our mind? We are going to use a very general word. We are going to define it, and above all, we are going to talk about how to remedy it, how to improve our situation. The restless wind that shakes our mind is desire. And here desire also means longing. The desire for something to be and also the desire for something not to be. Okay? It includes expectations. It includes clinging. It includes addictions. That is the need, the requirement. Okay? Because it is not simply something that you can appreciate, but you are demanding from others, demanding from life, that something happens with your times, to your measure. So, we are going to talk a little about this wind that agitates our mind, which is desire, but above all, about one of the best ways to quiet this internal restlessness, which is letting go, letting go. It all begins with an almost existential fear of not being in harmony with our purest part, more divine, more sacred, more natural. And from there we create the myth of the ego, the myth of the being independent, absolute, eternal, and that creates outside of us the myth of the world, the myth of the universe, and of the things out there that are solid, absolute, and eternal. And once there is something out there in the world floating, independent of us, we give it value. There is added value. This is good, and this, it is bad. And from there, starting from the reference of the ego, we say, it suits me or it doesn't suit me. And there begins a great, great battle to conquer people, conquer objects, fight against what we do not want. So, a simpler example. If you remember, a criticism, or more, something a little more, a mockery, someone on purpose made fun of you, and maybe days have passed, maybe weeks have passed, but it still bothers you, it still hurts you, has no sense. Now, the person who made fun of you has already forgotten. He has forgotten what he said and he has forgotten about you. But we retain that mockery. We ruminate, we chew, we turn over it, and we torture ourselves basically for not knowing the art of letting go. It happens in everything we live. For example, we know that diseases cause pain and suffering. But most of the suffering in a disease is usually comes from us, of not wanting to let go of an expectation. This shouldn't be happening, and especially not to me. I don't deserve this, and why me? Why I'm not healed, and why doesn't this medicine work? So why? Wanting things to be different, that's really what plunges us into suffering. So let's start with the simplest part, and perhaps the most meditative part, which is letting go the discursive mind. Because we have to let go. We have to let go of objects. We have to let go of ideas. We have to let go of so many things. But let's start with the discursive mind. The discursive mind is the commentary. Like when you are watching a soccer game and there is a commentator, well, this is the mind that comments what is happening, what you are seeing. So, for example, if you are looking at some beautiful flowers that someone brought to the Buddha temple, now we have 3 beautiful statues upstairs, and you comment, "What beautiful flowers, they can't be real." There you are stopping seeing the flowers, and you are seeing the words. If you comment, "How beautiful the evening is, how beautiful this blood moon is," you are stopping from seeing the moon or the evening, and you are seeing the words. So much of our daily life, we are not living fully, we are not connected to reality, we are seeing a reflection, we are seeing words. How delicious this cake is. It's my favorite. You are no longer tasting it, you are tasting the words. There is a distinction. I don't know if you can appreciate it. So life is in high resolution, HD, but we live as if we were with a mobile phone. And that happens a lot nowadays to parents, because they want to record their children's first steps, or the first dance, or the first date, or the graduation. And they are watching that important moment in their life through the mobile screen. Makes sense? Reality, life out there is in HD, high resolution, very vivid and intense, and we see it through the mobile, or in this case, through thoughts, judgments, labels, concepts. So, the first achievement, or as we say, the first prize, that you are going to receive in meditation is to cut off the discursive mind and live the present fully. And that is a lot. It is another quality of experience. So, we have to learn in meditation and the exercise that we are going to do next to let go of the comments. They are unnecessary. They don't add anything. They don't help you. They don't benefit you. They only interrupt full presence of being with your best friend, of being with your best dessert, or listening to the waves of the sea. Because if it starts to work, the tickling of the discursive mind, soon, and it won't take long for us to merge into that object We disappear into what we are perceiving, and we leave with our eyes open, but dreaming no one is home. If someone rings the doorbell, no one is home. We are dreaming. So, the advice of all teachers is, stop commenting on what is happening and start living it.